welcome to the show. I'm Jacquelene. You're on A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. I'm coming to you live from my little office in Melbourne. It's fun here. I'm like 31 levels up. It's sort of like creating, like I could be like an airbender. You know, it's like I'm up in the air. Like one of my friends actually said, "Oh, look, I can't do readings unless I'm like on the ground floor because I would feel like the earth underneath me." But then that could be true. But for me, I'm like an air grand trine, and my chart's actually like a kite. Getting all technical here. If we allow Chiron at the head of the kite, now some astrologers are going to get very cranky with me over that one, but I don't care. So there's that. Yeah. So I kind of, it doesn't matter where I am. Sometimes I've done readings, like been working tap, 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 like this on, that little tray on the plane. I've been doing like, oh yeah, doing this. And I felt really good at like 33,000 feet. I'm like, yeah, this is good. If I could stay up here, except I'd probably freeze to death, probably die of no air. In the meantime, different people are going to connect in different things. So I'm just wondering about people who do firewalking, like, fire element, wondering about their charts a bit, yeah? Anyhow, let's get on to some stuff today. Guess what started working? This stopped before the Chinese New Year. It just was like, the green sand was stuck up here. It was like a little bit down here. And then all of a sudden, last weekend, it's like I come in and I'm like, time has recommenced. How about that, girls and boys and non-binary individuals? So that was kind of fun. I don't see that it as time having run out. I just sort of see it as like time's moving again. I probably should turn that up the other way. Oh, look, see, it's working. You can see the sand going in there? Ooh, back this way. Ah, there we are. I'm always getting these angles wrong because I'm on like selfie mode. So you can see the sand going in there. I'm like really excited about that. Let's just see if that keeps going because, it should now because we're moving forward apparently. And Mars actually goes direct and forward all year. So it's not going retrograde. Fun times. So you should be able to get stuff done. If you don't, well, there could be reasons for that don't have relationship to Mars. So try not to blame it on planets. Anyhow, Lena wrote in. Thank you, Lena. Hello, Lena. Lena is somewhere in Australia, which I have to look at later and then go, well, that's where she's from. But in any case, she's written in. Thank you so much, Lena, for writing in. And you can write in to me and I will actually respond to you, which is actually a good thing, I think. So you sort of write your questions in. If there's a topic you want me to cover or a reading you want me to do. This is my way of doing acts of service because I do private paid readings for people. It's like, yeah, got clients around the world. Very excited about that. Thank you. But I also do this for people, particularly if they, can't afford a reading. It's like, you know what, you can write in. That's what I'm here for doing this show. It's actually helping people out who probably need some guidance. And it's like, you can't afford your fees, Jacqueline. It's like, write into the show, yeah? Write into Jacquelene Post More Live on Facebook, or you can go to soulstar.media. Yes, it's a website, and I'll actually respond to you. Anyways, Lena asked now, she's actually apparently had a reading before on the show, and she said, 2 years ago you said I would be teaching, and I started doing that and have been successful. Yay. Thank you for the confirmation there, Lena. Now she's asking, am I on the right track business-wise, and is there anything I need to do to get that house? Lena's actually Year of the Goat, and this year is actually Year of the Ox. So for all those goat people, this is a good year to see things from the opposite angle. So you want to sort of look at it from the other side. It's a great educational year, we call it. It's also a year where you can find it helpful to sort of look at your shadow or look at the opposite side or devil's advocate, which is kind of hilarious for goat and then pan and well, where that goes. But Capricorns can always be fun. It's just good to be open to seeing things from the opposite angle during your opposite animal. So whatever Chinese year you are, look at the opposite animal, yeah? So not just this year, but look at what the opposite animal is and then go, And when I meet people who have that Chinese sign, I want to kill them. No, or I don't like them turning me up. It's okay to dislike someone. Just try not to do the hate stuff because anything you can't stand within yourself, you tend to not be able to stand other people. So it's probably a good idea to look at what irritates you about someone. It's like also on some of the astrology bits, they're like, I hate Gemini, and hello, I'm a Gemini. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm probably all the 12 signs. So, go and do that for me. So, it's like, you've got to look at it from the other angle. You've got to be unaffected by what people think of you and just be you. And in being you, you don't get so triggered by other people calling you stuff that you aren't, or people kind of projecting their own stuff onto you. So for some reason, that's relevant to you, Lena, as well, because I don't believe I'm just rambling, although that does happen too. But, it's like you've got to look at things from the opposite angle, and your year of the goat this year is the ox. So anyone who's year of the goat as well can use this, is to really look at it from the opposite angle this year, and to look at the attributes of the year that we're in and that animal and go, that really irritates me, or that doesn't irritate me, or, I could learn from that. Or, like if you sort of see another sign as particularly selfish, have you been too selfless? Are you needing to maybe draw the line and boundaries somewhere? And, the old saying, stubborn as an ox. Is there an area, in a goat where you might just be pushing uphill too much? You ever seen goats climbing? Like, you see these mountain goat pictures, and they're like, how do they get up there? It's like 90 degrees, like, goats just standing there going, check it out. This is me. I'm a goat. Yeah. Like they're totally in control, right? So you're used to being able to climb through all sorts of things and difficulties and to just keep plowing on ahead. Lena, this is a year to sort of go, okay, let's assess how far I've come and go, actually pretty good. So I'd kind of be patient this year. I think there should be phenomenal opportunities, particularly in teaching, because you're in a 3-year this year. And so there should be expansion there. 2022, however, is actually a 6-year for the world, your life path numbering 6. And I would expect that there is the opportunity to lay new foundations. I would see progress to do with housing. I keep seeing this, and I might have actually answered this partially last week on my other page. It feels like you're going to get to do something fairly solid pretty soon, but it feels like you're doing this in conjunction with someone else. So someone else coming in and like helping you to achieve your goals to do with this house and to do with stability financially, which wouldn't we all love that? It's like, oh, that sounds very fantastic. I wouldn't like fantasy, but I actually do see that happening. So I sort of have to go with that, because as crazy as that sounds, I'm still getting it. I'm still getting that vibe. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to stick with it, because that's what we do. If you can't trust your own instincts, what are you doing? And I think the thing is, when it comes to financial and business decisions, use your mind. And I think anyone, it's like if you're offered a contract, you're offered something with money, or you're thinking of making a plan, use your mind, but also your instincts, and match them up. If they actually match up and it's working, great. If they're not matching up, think again. And I think it's always good to, when we come to looking at buying a house, if it's the same money as rent, then no matter what happens, you would still have to find the rent money anyway, wouldn't you? So I think if you're buying something that's well within your means, particularly because Pluto's in Capricorn until 2023, I think. It's sort of bouncing around. It goes forwards and backwards, 2033, 2025, something like that, sort of in and out. But while it's still in there, I'd just be using a lot of practicality, particularly to do with anything around money and stability, because it's kind of in a stable time. It's a period of doing more with less. So I'd buy something you could basically be paying the same money as rent, and then just dump an extra money off it, rather than going, I have a dream, and, this house has to sort of be this dream thing. And it's like you're forking out twice the money of rent, and then you hit a flat spot and you go, got to sell the house, God, keep paying this. But if it was rent, you could still make that, right? And if you're in really good times, you just dump extra money off that thing. You pay that double that you would be paying for the big fancy schmancy house. So just keep it real. Most important thing, particularly because you'll be in a 4-year, which is all about keeping it real, looking at the foundations and solidifying them. Hope that helps you today. Running out of time. I'm going to be jumping across to Jacquelene Closemore Live on Facebook now, and I'm going to be chatting some stuff about dudes for the ladies. So in the meantime, I'm going to bid you adieu and possibly something else. But I'm going to say goodbye for now. There's going to be more shows on A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV now. In the meantime, I'm going to catch you next week on this channel. Same bad time. Lots of love. Bye.